Okay, I'm gonna get started with navigation, WASD, while I'm holding right click, up and down with Q and E, mouse wheel for speed, hold shift to sprint, so it's double whatever the speed is, or base speed is, and then if you select an object, whether it's from the hierarchy or from directly in the scene window, and press F, we zoom in on the object. And also note that there's a difference between the scene window and the game window. In here, we can't really click on anything. So keep in mind which is which. This is why I like to have the scene and game window side by side, so I can always tell. And yeah, now that we've gone over basic navigation, first order of business, when I have the project sent to you, you would want to be able to upload it. So we go to the content manager here, copy ID for your wolf avatar or wherever you want to upload it to. And then go to your base object, detach whatever's in there in the pipeline manager, and attach it. And also do the same for the low version of the avatar here. So if it's detached, or detach whatever's there, paste the blueprint ID so it matches your PC avatar, because we want to upload both of them there. And then upload Windows, upload Android, as we did before. Noting that the main difference between the PC version and the Quest version is first that the low version of the avatar is quite literally a lower poly version of the Kung Fu Cat. More optimized. That means less geometry, less triangles, easier to load, better performance. And it also has this texture, or its own material shader. So if I go to these, you see VRChat, mobile, tune standard for each of these, which we can change the shader with this drop-down menu. But basically, everything here on this Quest avatar has to match, or has to have a VRChat mobile shader on it. No exceptions, including particles, and there can't be any audio sources on the Quest side. And that's one of the main differences. And also, finally, whenever you're uploading to Android, it will also complain about texture memory if your texture memory is too large, with the maximum texture memory limit being 10 megabytes, and the maximum memory of the entire avatar as a whole, texture memory included, being 40 megabytes. So that's why there's a limit to how much clothing can be on the Quest side, because all the geometry, all the triangles does count towards this limit. So sometimes it can be difficult to try to get everything to look exactly the same between PC and Quest. You just kind of find a close enough, depending on how much stuff you have on your PC side. And it also kind of depends on if you use Quest more than PC, how you want to approach things. But yes, if you have any non-Quest shaders whatsoever, that's when you start seeing pink textures in VR once you hop into Quest. Also note that textures on Quest side are generally lower resolution than the PC side, for the purposes of trying to stay under the 10 megabyte limit that would prevent you. VRChat prevents you from uploading if you cannot stay under the limit. So we have our default setting for any image file in here. In the project area, there are these settings here. Default applies to either Windows or Android if none of these other tabs are enabled. So there are these overrides. This would be the default if neither of those had overrides, and it would apply to both PC and Quest. Which, for the main texture, it kind of makes sense. You kind of want your main texture to still look relatively good on Quest. But for everything else, especially these small objects, you probably don't need that much detail. You could definitely go 512 or basically go down until things start not looking good. And then stick with that. And if you ever have errors or problems trying to upload on Quest, that is one of the ways to get around it, is to just lower the resolutions of textures. This override for Android makes sure that you can still upload for PC just fine as it is without having to change any settings, while whenever you're on your build type is Quest or Android, it'll use this setting instead.